going on, guys? It's Walker Wired to Fish. I'm kind of in a sticky spot right now. My boat's been in the shop for a little while, and while it's getting operated on, I'm having to get kind of creative in how I fish. You know how it is. You got to scratch the itch. I've been fishing a lot from the bank, and I've also lately been fishing from a dock in the middle of a public lake. It's not a lot of people do that, and people think that it's primarily catfish, brim, maybe some crappie here and there. But I've actually caught some nice bass from the end of my girlfriend's dock. We put a brush pile out there several months ago, and I thought I was going to be fishing it from my bass boat during tournaments, during guide trips or whatnot. But now it's kind of turned into my little ace in the hole, is how I get through the week sometimes. So I'm going to try it today. I hope they cooperate for us, but either way I think we'll come up with some good tips for fishing brush piles, whether you're from the bank or from the boat. Alright, so the brush pile is somewhere out here. I'm used to scanning from my boat with my Lowrance, so I'm not quite exactly sure where it is now that I'm standing here on the dock. I know it's somewhere in this vicinity. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to make just a long cast, past where I think it is. So I think it's somewhere, 15 feet, 20 feet in front of this dock. Well, I'll cast about 30 or 40, I guess that's 30 or 40 feet past it. And this next step is important. What I'll do, I'll let it fall, let it hit the bottom, and once that Texas rig hits the bottom, I'm going to keep my rod tip low and drag to the side. And that's not what we're usually taught to do, but what that does, it keeps that bait, it keeps that Texas rig on the bottom. If I'm lifting up, it's got a tendency to come off the bottom a little bit more. So until I find that brush pile and identify where it is, then I'll start fishing it like a normal worm. But right now, I'm dragging it kind of like a Carolina rig. I'm on one branch right now, and I'm just shaking, and I'll leave it there for about 10 or 12 seconds. You have to envision that a bass is down there looking at it, and you have to tempt it into biting. That's why they'll just sit there and look at it for 10 or 15 seconds, just looking. And something you do, whether you pop it over a limb or you yo-yo it over the right limb, that'll set them off. That'll be the trigger mechanism. Dang, dogs probably doesn't help the cause there, tromping on the dock. But so I'm kind of snagged right now. So I'm sitting there just vibrating my rod tip, and I just popped it over. You see that? I don't know if y'all saw that. A crappie just busted, and it busted just about on top of where this brush pile is. And just because there's crappie in a spot doesn't mean, oh, there's no bass, let's move on. Bass eat crappie. Big bass eat crappie. Look at it. Don't do that. On a little Yamamoto Cinco duck flip. Look at that. See, so that's caught in a brush pile. Hot weather. I got sweat running down places it shouldn't. But man, I don't care. That was fun. That was on a little Yamamoto Cinco on a 3/16 ounce Texas rig. And she smoked it. Here, Ivy. Say hey to the fishy. Say hey to the fishy. How about that?